Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is Simon with AvaTrade. Welcome to our weekly webinar mapping out your week ahead. And as usual, the special welcoming goes to new people. And for you, I just like to use the quote that traders like to use when they say you plan your trade and then you trade your plan. And this is the whole idea of these webinars. We're trying to create a plan based on what we know, what is about to happen, and try to create a little bit of a structure. This removes a lot of chaos from our trading. Few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I've been trading and involved in trading for over 25 years. I started as a prop trader in New York City in June of 2000, and after doing that for about 11 years, I moved on and I started to mentor and educate others. I'm very happy to have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. What we do here, as usual, the agenda is indices, stocks, commodities, and Forex. We'll take a look at some fundamentals, some important key points. Then we'll move to the charts. We'll take a look at some individual instruments, as we said, including indices, stocks, commodities, and FX. Also, we are in earnings season, so we're going to touch a few of the companies that are reporting, and we'll take a look at economic calendar and other things. All right. So before we jump into it, you have the risk warning here. You can find the full statement at avatrade.com. And of course, everything we do here is purely educational. We do not suggest any trades. We don't give any signals. Social media channels, please feel free to follow us on Telegram, X, and my favorite YouTube channel, where you can find a lot of tutorials, educational material, and webinars. Webinars that we do are being recorded and posted on YouTube, so you can watch them whenever it's convenient for you. If you are watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to put the likes if you like it, share with people that might benefit from it. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, sign up or register and click on those bells so you'll be notified on new things coming in. All right, so before we jump into the slides that I usually prepare, we had quite a week, right? We have a lot of earnings coming in. We had a huge sell-off towards the end of the week in metals and energy commodities moved up. So those are the biggest winners and the losers for the week. We'll take a look at them as well. We had on Friday, it looks like US is again in the government shutdown. Technically, the funding finished on midnight of Friday, and there's a House of Representative vote has to happen on Monday. So both Democrats and Republicans are trying to avoid the cut in funding, but technically the US government is in a shutdown as of Friday midnight. So let's see how that works. And it's very important because we have very important data coming this week, especially the NFPs on Friday. So let's hope that they will solve the issue as usual, and we'll get data on time. If you remember last time, we didn't have data for a couple of months. So those are important things. Also, President Donald Trump, he decided to nominate Kevin Warsh as a replacement for Jerome Powell, the chair of the Feds. Market reacted to it, it looks like it. Okay, let's jump into it. And also, I prepared for you the slides here. This is the one from last week. Just want to show you how the news are not necessarily right all the time, and it doesn't matter who writes them. There's always an opposite scenario, right? If you remember, this is the slide from last week. I didn't remove it on purpose. We said here silver finally hits 100 an ounce, and some experts say that's just the beginning, and it's true. We did go all the way to, I think, 120s, and then look what happened here. Silver suffered biggest drop in 46 years, with every man and his dog rushing for the exit. I mean, silver went down significantly. We'll take a look at the chart. It says right here, the March silver contract settled at 78.53 an ounce. We're talking about the futures here, down 33% on COMEX, making its largest one-day percentage decline since March 27, 1980. Historical drop, right? Gold for April delivery lost 11% to settle at 47.45 an ounce, though it remained up above 9% for the month. The nomination of Kevin Warsh as Federal Reserve Chair is seen as less supportive of lower interest rates, contributed to selling pressure on precious metals. Interesting. Huge drop, a lot of volume. Here's the article of the nominations. It says right here, Federal Reserve could cut rates a few more times this year, but likely not as much as President Trump wants. President Donald Trump has been a fierce critic of outgoing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. He hopes his nominee for Fed Chair, Kevin Warsh, will cut interest rates faster and more aggressively. And here are the key points. Economists believe new Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh will face significant challenges in lowering interest rates substantially due to the current economic growth of 3 to 4%. The Federal Reserve this month kept its key interest rate unchanged after 3 consecutive cuts, with most officials and investors expecting 1 or 2 more rate cuts this year. Pushing for a full percentage point or 2, an interest rate reduction would likely meet strong resistance from other Fed officials, potentially undermining the chairman's authority, right? So let's translate it in simple English. Trump is looking for Warsh to just do what Trump wants him to do, but he's not the only one making decisions, so the other Fed authorities might not agree with his position. Here's the partial government shutdown starts after Senate passes the revised spending deal. And that's what we spoke about a little bit. Funding lapsed early Saturday morning for some government agency, and the White House ordered them to begin shutting down when workers report to the next shift. Still, it is possible the partial government shutdown could end before anyone noticed. That's because the next workday for most federal employees is Monday, when the House of Representatives is expected to convene and try to ratify a funding bill passed by the Senate on Friday evening. The government's weekend workers, air traffic controller, law enforcement officers, and border agents are deemed essential and must work through the weekend funding lapse. Basically, they're working in a way for free, just hoping things are going to be fine. Depending on how long it takes next week for House vote and signature from President Donald Trump, the release of January job data from Bureau of Labor Statistics expected February 6 may be delayed. All right, that's what I mentioned earlier. Let's see if we do get the number. Speaking of Feds, this is the latest picture for the next meeting, March 18th. There's only 13.4% probability of that cut, right? It's been changing a little bit. About a month ago, it was 42% and 14.9. Currently, it's 13.4 as of now. Economic calendar. Before I go into the details, important to mention that this is public information. You can access it through our web trader or the app. Also, you can just Google it. What I do here, I take out only high impact events. There's so much more, and you can filter through it and see what's relevant to your own trading. So here I take, as I said, the most important events, and the times are in GMT. So these are the things for the upcoming week. Manufacturing PMI from China. On Monday, retail sales from Europe. Manufacturing PMI from US, that's for Monday. Tuesday, we have interest rate from Bank of Australia. By the way, Australian dollar, we'll take a look at it when we get to Forex. It's been active very, very strongly. So let's see how this uh, change in interest rate will affect the Australian dollar. So that's the interest rate, followed by press conference. Employment change from New Zealand on Tuesday as well. Wednesday, we have service PMI from China. We have CPI numbers from European Union, also very important. ADP employment, this is kind of an idea of what NFPs could be. Not always the same. That's on Wednesday. Service PMI from US on Wednesday as well. Going to Thursday, we have trade balance from Australia, retail sales from Europe, another rate decision from UK, Bank of England, making the decision. The consensus is no change. Also, press conference right after that. Also, interest rate. Wow, a lot of interest rates. So, Australia, UK, and European Union, the ECB. So, ECB decision on rates as well. So, Thursday is going to be busy for us, right? And Governor of Bank of Canada speaking the same day. And Friday, of course, brings us to NFP and employment data from the US. Again, we'll get the data if they solve the issue with the government shutdown. If not, we might not get the data. And we have the employment data from Canada. So we have 3 interest rate decisions and NFP numbers. Busy week, right? And of course, we have to deal with sell-off in metals and move up in energies. So that brings us to the winners and the losers. So as you see, the energy sector, these are all futures. The energy was up as things are building up. Also cold winter in the US, also uncertainty in the Middle East as things are getting more intense. So natural gas was up more than 20%, heating oil up more than 15%, crude oil up 678, and gasoline up 395. And as you could see, a big crash in metals. Platinum down 22%, silver down 22.5%, palladium down 16%, gold 5, almost 5.5%, coffee and sugar are down as well. So the winners and the losers, we'll take a look at them one by one when we get to the charts, just see how it looks from the technical perspective. All right, let's move to the charts. And of course, as usual, we'll start with indices. This China index, as we broke through the trend line, we've been sliding. Thursday was a move up. Friday erased half of it. Japan is holding here at the tops very, very strongly, right? It looks like each sell-off is being bought. We are trading, closing at 53,470, holding nicely here. Going to US indices. We had a sell-off, of course, on Friday. S&Ps finished the month still up 1.4%. Nasdaq finished the month up almost 0.9%. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, I forgot to say happy February, right? We're entering February. January is gone. Now, take a look at on Thursday with a big sell-off with a nice recovery here. But Friday, we continue that selling pressure here on S&Ps. Nasdaq, the same idea here. Friday looks weaker here, right? Thursday was a sell-off with a nice recovery, still finishing in red. But Friday, the sell-off was intense. And as you could see here, the volume is increasing. So there's a strong downside pressure here. Nevertheless, we are holding that 50-day moving average here. Here's Dow Jones. Dow Jones is holding actually stronger than S&P and Nasdaq. Thursday, when Nasdaq and S&P sold, the Dow Jones was actually in green and it was flat on Friday. Interesting. Germany, we had a strong sell-off here. Thursday, Friday was a little bit in green, so we are actually trading around this level of 24,500. So you could see here with few tails breaking it. That was a resistance for us for a while. Then the big move started right here, around 24,500. We had to move to 25.6. Came back, retested, came back, retested, still trading above. So as of now, this level around 24,500, it looks like a strong support here. UK is holding very, very strongly here. It reminds me a little bit of Nikkei, similar situation. This is Nikkei, right? After moving up, it's really holding to that gain. The same thing here in the UK index. It's holding very, very nicely. Let's see if that continues after move up. We have a nice consolidation without a sell-off. So if we see some positive news aspects in the global markets, we could see actually continuation on UK, on the FTSE. And if the opposite with the sell-off of the global markets increases, we might actually see finally some move to the downside. And if that happened, this level here around 99.55 could be at the next level of support. All right, that's it with indices. Let's move to individual stocks. We had some, of course, stocks reporting last week. There was Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, and Apple. Let's just take a quick look how they're doing as of now. Here's Apple. It was a gap up, closing the gap, trying to move higher, trading around 259, 260. Amazon, very choppy here on the daily chart, with a lot of tails, a lot of gaps here, trading around 238. That's a level that a lot of actions are happening. Microsoft, good news. Reaction was not so great. Take a look at this gap from 480s to 430s, 420s. Doesn't look so great, right? And we had something they called dead cross happening here. The 50-day moving average went below 200. That's a bearish factor right there. Microsoft and Tesla is trading around 430. These are the companies that reported last week. And Meta, right? Meta did great after the earnings from 660s to 730s on the first day with the huge gap. And now we could be on the way to close that gap. So the low of Thursday, which was 712.46, could be our indication. We are holding that level, or if not, we might be trying to close the gap. And if we're moving higher, our next checkpoint is around here, around 758, 759. So we're trading right in this channel, 712. That was the low of Thursday, and then 758, 759 was the high. Now we still have a lot of companies reporting. This week we have about 115 companies out of S&P 500 reporting. Let's take a look at a few of them. Monday we have Disney. Disney is reporting on Monday. Let's see how it looks on the chart. The move from the lows here starting November came almost to the previous resistance. The 2 days, 2 last days of the week, we had a nice move to the upside, and they are reporting on Monday. Let's see how it works. Now on the technology side, we have AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, are reporting on Tuesday. We came to the double top around here, exactly double top from October level, and this was on January 23rd. Since then we've been selling. This was the gap on Friday, closing the gap, reporting on Tuesday. Now, from the big guys, we have Alphabet, which is Google, and Amazon reporting on Thursday. Let's see how they look. Amazon reporting on Thursday. Well, let's go in the order. Wednesday, Alphabet, which is Google, is the only stock that holds steadily, very, very nicely healthy moves. We had move up, consolidation or correction, move up, consolidation, move up, correction, move up, and we're trading above 325. Last close was 338. So Alphabet's reporting on Wednesday, and I think the main reason it looks very, very strong is they really leading in the AI area, and the competitors having a hard time catching up. I know Apple just purchased a company involved in AI, something to do with I think voice recognition. I'm not sure. That was the latest news. So everybody's trying to catch up with Alphabet or Google. As of now, they look very, very strong. As you could see, a nice steady move up, healthy corrections and continuation. So Alphabet reporting on Wednesday, and Amazon is reporting on Thursday. Amazon, as you could see, a lot of chaotic trading here, a lot of gaps, a lot of tails. We are trading around 238 on Amazon. This was the level of resistance that became a support and then resistance again. This is the level from September 9th. We had a sell-off, then we had a huge gap up, came right back down, had a resistance again here. So a lot of action. Then we stopped on Friday around that level as well. 238 looks like support for now. And they are reporting on Thursday. So again, we have a total of about 115 companies out of S&P 500 reporting this week. All right, moving to our winners and losers. We start with winners. Natural gas. I'm sure whoever trades natural gas, not an easy task. Take a look. We came from 3. We spoke about last week. Huge move to the upside, breaking through the previous highs. And then this was a change of contracts, a rollover, right? And then we had Thursday and Friday move to the upside, 441. We might be trying to close the gap between the contracts. Hard to say. I think this move was dedicated to cold weather, a lot of storms and freezing weather in the US. And maybe we'll try to catch up with that move. So natural gas was up for the week, more than 20%. Heating oil as well, for the same reason, probably cold weather. And a lot of it also with, we don't know what's going to happen in the Middle East with US getting ready for that attack on Iran. Let's see if that happens or not. I think the latest news over the weekend that Iran is trying to reach out and do some diplomatic negotiations. At the same time, I just read that they threatened, and at the meeting they said death to US and to Europe. They're very upset with Europe because Europe, I think, included now the organization in Iran who's in charge. They put them into the terrorist group. So in return, the Iranian regime is threatening Europe and US and everybody else. So let's see how that works out. So this is heating oil, strong move, up 15.5%. Crude oil, because of the situation in the Middle East, and there were some issues in the Gulf that most of the world oil comes through. And I think that was triggering some worries about the oil as well. So oil, crude oil, up 678, and gasoline up as well, 3.95%, facing right here resistance at 200 moving average. Now to the downside, if you're ready for that, we had a huge drop all over the metals. Take a look. We're really climbing nicely here. One day erased a lot of days, let's put it this way. And we had a little bit of recovery, right, of the lows, but still, even if you just take the body of this candle, that's huge. So that's Platinum down 22.6%. Silver, after making 120s, straight drop. The low was here at 73.38, and the close at 85, $12 high. Huge drop on silver, down 22.5%. Palladium, down 16%. Coming back, take a look. We closed right on the level of October 16th, which was a strong resistance here. Interesting how things work. Sometimes technical analysis is very interesting. So here you go. The high here was 1693.70. We closed $2 higher. So that's on palladium, down 16%. Gold, after making new highs this week, we reached the high of 55.97. Next day, we're a little bit short of that and sold. And then Friday was a huge drop on a huge volume, down 5.4%. Also, in some other commodities, we had a drop in coffee, 5.3%, breaking through the previous support right here. Coffee's been selling. And I guess sugar has been selling as well with coffee. I'm being sarcastic here. Sugar has been selling for a while right here. If you remember in one of the webinars I mentioned, maybe it's not healthy, so people are being more conscious of their diet, but I'm not sure if that's the case. In any event, sugar has been selling since this run up on September 22nd. We've been going straight down. This is the weekly. And the monthly chart, we're pretty much hanging in the air here. If we continue lower, we might be coming to the lows of 2020. There's nothing that holding sugar till then. But as of now, we're holding this initial big sell-off here on the monthly from October. The low was here 1407. We're only 18 cents away from that level. Let's see if that holds. So that's on sugar. That concludes our list of winners and losers. All right, moving to FX. You remember, dollar was super, super weak. And take a look at this weekly, this past week's candle. We had a flat week. If you don't take, I mean, it's a huge move down in recovery, but if you don't see that, if you just take opening and closing, open was 96.98 and close was 96.99. 1 penny, right? Interesting. It looks very strong. It was a sell-off that was followed by a very strong recovery right here. So of course, with metals going down, dollar regain some strength here. So let's see how it plays further. We do have this 50-day moving average crawling below 200, which is a bearish sign right here with that cross. Let's see how this week plays. But dollar had, after initial sell-off, had a very nice recovery, closing the week really, really flat. Let's take a look at the majors. Euro dollar did break below this 119.18, the previous resistance here. Pound, similar situation, right? We broke this level right here that we mark 137.26. A huge drop on a high volume. Australian dollar is very, very strong. As you can see here, it's been super strong against the dollar. And the sell-off on Friday still holding this big move to the upside. New Zealand dollar as well, strong against the dollar here. Franc, dollar recovered nicely here, but still super, super low against the Swiss franc. And of course, Canadian dollar is very strong here because of the oil moving higher. But Friday, we raised the previous days of a sell-off here. So let's see how that works. And of course, yen. On the yen, we had a nice sell-off of dollar, the strength of the yen, and then we had the recovery. Now, just to remind us, there were some publications that they said the U.S. is helping Japan with intervening to make the yen stronger. But then the head of Treasury, he said that it's not true. U.S. is not involved, and that was followed by the weakness of the yen right here. So let's see how that works. But in general, if you see the yen, it's been, this is the pound, it's been pretty steady here. But if you see against others, we have Australian dollar has been super strong against the yen. We're trying to retest this 108.50s to break, but we are holding. We're not really selling here. Canadian has been strong against the yen with the price of the oil moving higher. Swiss is holding very nicely towards the highs. We closed at 200.20. We were at 201 earlier. As you could see, after being in the channel here between 196, 198.40, we're really holding that. What was resistance now becomes a support here, 198.40. So Swiss franc is very strong against the yen. Euro not so strong. We're back into this channel here between 182.40, 184.76. So we need to see which way we're going to break. If we break lower, we might go into selling here against the yen. If we come back up and start building up some support above 184.76, we might be retesting the highs. And New Zealand is also looking very strong against the yen. All right, so that's on Forex, and let's take a quick look at cryptos. Cryptos are selling, right? And if you remember, we spoke about the potential situation with the bearish flag when we said this is the pole and this is the flag. When we break, we said it didn't work first time, it didn't work the second time, but then we broke through that trend line again, and we're trading currently at around 78,000. We were as low as 76.1. There's a sell-off pressure on cryptocurrencies. Ripple is selling as well, currently trading 164, and Ethereum having a downside pressure as well. So let's see how things work out for crypto. All right, that's it pretty much for today. Let's just summarize things. We have Trump appointing someone that was going to take place of Jerome Powell. We have a government shutdown that could be resolved tomorrow on Monday, when House of Representatives will ratify the bill and President possibly signs it. If not, we're technically in the government shutdown. We have a lot of data. Hopefully, we'll see the data coming out. And the most important one is the NFPs on Friday. We have 3 interest rate decisions, we said, one from Australia, one from UK, and one from European Central Bank. So we have a big week. We have energies being strong and metals selling off hard. Let's see if those directions continue, or we might see some reversals this week. And don't forget about the social media. Subscribe, click on those bells, and have a wonderful weekend. We still have Sunday to enjoy, so spend some quality time with your loved ones. Prepare yourself physically and mentally for the upcoming week. It's going to be a lot of actions, and I wish everyone a successful trading week. All the best. Take care.